this segment of the video, we're going to talk about what products that I use as part of my nutrition strategy. Now, these are just products that I've tested. I've tested quite a few products, not every one of them, but I've found products that work for me. One thing that I have to manage is I am a gastric bypass patient. I had my bypass probably about 10 years ago, maybe now. So one of the things that I have to manage is my sugar intake, and I can't consume the same amount of calories and digest those calories as a person that has a normal digestive system. So this is the strategy that I've developed that works for me. If you have questions on formulating your strategy, you feel free to reach out to us at Tabula Rasa Racing. We're always happy to talk to you about what strategy you would like and maybe give you some feedback on some of the other products that we've tested. But this is what I use. So I divide my strategy into liquid calories and solid calories. So these are the products that I've tested and used. So for my liquid calories, this is where I get my electrolytes from. So this is a product from GQ6, and you'll find a website link at the end of this video where you can find some of their products. This is what I use for my electrolytes. It's not my only source for calories because it's fairly low in calories, but it is certified clean, and the flavors I particularly like. So they have orange, fruit punch, and green apple. I've tried all three flavors. They're all really, really good. I like them because I don't like products like Gatorade and Powerade. They're way too sweet for me, and they leave a horrible aftertaste, especially on endurance rides and workouts. So this one works for me. I love this product. I've been using it for a number of years. It's a light flavor, so it works great. I also add to it in order to beef up the calories that I need. So this is a product just called Carbo Pro. This is just pure powdered calories. So my bottles are essentially the same mix every single time I go out. So what I will do is GQ6 makes a number of other products that I like. They have an energy powder and an endurance powder that I add to my bottles as well. So my bottle contains, and I've adjusted mixes before, so the one that I'm testing out this season is I'm using 2 scoops of the base GQ6 powder. I will use, and depending on how long the workout is, I'll use 1 scoop of the endurance, but I also use 2 scoops of the energy powder, which is just essentially just a caffeine supplement that goes into my bottles because I train with caffeine. I know the impact of it, and I know how my body handles it. I like caffeine. It works well for me. You may not like it, but I will warn you, once you start using the caffeine, you have to manage and maintain that intake throughout the workout, because you'll just essentially just bonk as your body burns through that caffeine. So if you're not going to use caffeine, stay away from it from the very, very start. If you're going to use caffeine, you have to continue to consume that caffeine throughout the event. I will also add 1 scoop of the Carbo Pro to the bottle. I've gone from using 2 scoops of Carbo Pro and 1 scoop of GQ6, and that mix wasn't really working for me because I found I needed some additional salts, and so I didn't need the extra calories that I was taking in. So I switched to using 2 scoops of the GQ6, 1 scoop of the Carbo Pro, and any other kind of powders that I want to add to it. I typically use 2 scoops of the energy that goes in the bottle, and that's my mix. That's every single bottle is going to have that mix. I know that 1 single nutrition bottle will last me roughly about 2 hours. I drink every 10 minutes. And I'll consume my liquid calories that way. And so I know 1 single bottle will last me roughly between 2 hours and 2 hours and 10, 2:15. So I know if I go out for a 4-hour ride, I need 2 bottles. 6 hours, I need 3 bottles, and so forth. So that's how I manage my liquid nutrition. Another product that I've started to test out this year that works pretty well for me, especially, and I use it particularly on my runs, not necessarily a whole lot on my bikes. But I found that I was needing some additional salt because I was dealing with some cramps. And so they make a number of products that I've tested out. S-Caps, just the letter S, C-A-P-S, so you can Google those, go on Amazon. I've tested those. They work okay. Again, you have to consume them on a schedule, which I have enough scheduling that I'm trying to manage while I'm on a bike, so I don't need another thing that I need to consume on a schedule. And so what I've started to incorporate into mine is something called base salt. This is an electrolyte salt. I just use it whenever it's needed. My primary source of electrolytes is the GQ6. This is kind of just a supplement, so they give you like these little pill caps, and you just flip the top over it. You lick your thumb, you dump the cap, and then on your fingers like a little ring of salt. You just lick the salt. It's pretty fast acting, so if you have any cramps, I'll carry a vial of this in my bento box on my bike. And so if I start to deal with cramps that I need to kind of like get out of the way like right then and there, I'll just take a couple hits of the base salt, and it usually will wash out any kind of cramps that I have. Wash down the salt with some water because it will leave a salty taste in your mouth. And so that's how I manage that. My solid nutritions I take in every 30 minutes, and it's just to break up the liquid nutrition that I take in, just so that I don't have a bunch of water just sloshing, fluids that are sloshing around in my stomach. So I've tested a bunch of different products, and these are the products that work for me. I use a mix of Honey Stinger and Clif Bar products. So what I do is I use the Honey Stinger Chews. These are the ones that I particularly like are the Cherry Colas and the Limeade. I like the Cherry Cola because I can't drink soda as a gastric bypass patient, so I really enjoy the flavor of the Cherry Cola. It kind of helps me get my soda craving that way because I really miss sodas. And so these products I will rotate in and out of the ride. So, you know, the first 30 minutes I might consume a half a pack of Cherry Cola. The next 30 minutes I'll consume a half a pack of Limeade, and then switch back and forth. So what I do is I do portion out these products so that they're easy to manage. I don't just throw these packs in my jersey and then try and open these packs as I'm riding down the road. That's just not a good idea. So what I do is I do all my portions the night before or the morning of. And so what I do is I went and bought at the grocery store small little Ziploc baggies. So these are really tiny ones, and I know that half a pack of chews will fit into this small little baggie. And so I'll take 2 baggies for every full pack of gummies, and then on that 30-minute mark, I'll consume 1 of these. So I know it helps me continue my portion control, and it allows me to manage my calories, and I know exactly how much I'm eating, when I'm eating it, and I have the ease and control. I use these little baggies because the gummies, all you have to do is just open the bag, and you can use your thumb to squeeze up the baggie, squeeze up the gummy out of the bag, and then just throw it to your mouth and just take the gummy out of the bag. I try to manage all of my nutrition so that it can be done with one hand, so I keep the other hand on the handlebars. Another product that I use is the Clif Bar. I use Clif Bar energy gels. I've tested all kinds of different flavors. This is the one that I've settled on. This also contains energy. So I typically will go with citrus flavors or light flavors. I try and stay away from chocolates and that sort of stuff because it just leaves a bad aftertaste and leaves you feeling really, really thirsty after the fact. So I know that the citrus-based products work well for me. I enjoy their flavors, and it doesn't leave a bad aftertaste. So I will treat these just like I would a individual pack of gummies. So at that 30-minute mark, whether it be at the top of the hour or at the bottom of the hour, I'll consume 1 of these. And so you just kind of you squeeze it down, and then you rip off the top. It's got like a little tag on here so the top doesn't come flying off. And you just kind of squeeze up from the bottom. I'll roll it up as I eat. So when I'm done, it's actually just already rolled up, and I get all the gel out of it. You need to consume water with these products. So, every, half of these I'll drink some water out of my tank, and then just keep eating this. and I'll eat the whole thing for that 30-minute interval. And so get it down as fast as I can, wash it down with some water. It can leave like a little sticky residue on your finger as you just kind of like stick this thing in your mouth and you pull it out. You got the residue from the gel on the pack. And so what I'll do is I'll take a hit of water and swish it around in my mouth and then spit on my fingers, and it washes my fingers as I ride down the road, because I don't like sticky fingers while I'm riding. So another product that I use is Honey Stinger waffles. So this is one of the waffles that I like. Again, I stay away from the chocolates. So the lemon flavor works well for me. Lemon, vanilla, ginger snap, the regular honey, the strawberry is good. I like those flavors. They do make them in gluten-free. So if you need a gluten-free option, you can check out their website. Again, I'll have the address and the link at the end of this video where you can check out some of the other products that they have. For portions, what I'll do is I went to the store and I got a little portion pack Ziploc bag. So it's a cup. Obviously, I don't need all that, but I found that I will take this waffle and cut it into quarters. So 4 little pieces, and put the 4 pieces in the Ziploc bag. I can't use the smaller ones because the pieces don't really fit and they're hard to get out. Those little packs work well with gummies. This one, you got to be able to get your hand down into it a little bit and pull the waffle out. So I'll eat them in quarters, and it's just easier to manage with the small bites rather than just trying to eat the whole waffle. So I'll cut it up in quarters and do it that way. Some of the products I do tend to stay away from are products that have a lot of protein in them. So like Clif Bars and those sorts of things, I stay away from them for a number of reasons. One reason is protein just kind of sits in your stomach and it takes longer to digest. And that's the last thing that I want, is while I'm trying to race or do a long workout for my body to work really hard to digest nutrition that should be easily digested and absorbed by the body, because I need that nutrition to fuel the workout. I don't need to consume nutrition for later, after my workout is done, which is what protein will do for you. It makes you feel full. I don't want to feel like I just sat down at a buffet as I'm riding my bike. So what I do is I stay away from the protein. The second reason I stay away from the protein is because if you consume enough of it and your bike is long enough, you will have to eventually go to the bathroom. And so that's the last thing that I need, is to have to stop and go to the restroom. So I tend to stay away from protein products and products that are hard to digest, where the body has to really work at it. So hopefully this video has helped you answer some questions. Hopefully it's actually led you to ask additional questions to yourself. And if you want help in trying to find those answers, feel free to reach out to us here at Tabula Rasa Racing. And I hope you guys enjoy the ride.